First Contact Protocol. Captain Maya Chen adjusted her dark blue uniform one final time before stepping into the observation deck of the UES Horizon. Through the massive viewport, she could see the Galactic Federation's central station stretching endlessly in all directions. The structure was so enormous that Earth's entire moon could have fit inside its central hub. Maya had served in Earth's United Space Navy for 15 years, but nothing had prepared her for this moment. "Captain, the Federation Council is ready to receive our delegation," announced Lieutenant Commander James Park, her second in command. His voice carried a mixture of excitement and nervous energy that Maya felt herself. The Horizon was humanity's pride, representing the pinnacle of Earth's space technology. At 800 meters long, it was the largest vessel humans had ever constructed. Its sleek design incorporated the best materials and engineering techniques that centuries of human innovation could produce. Yet as Maya looked out at the alien megastructures surrounding them, she felt like a child presenting a paper airplane to aerospace engineers. Ambassador Elena Rodriguez joined them on the observation deck, her diplomatic credentials gleaming on her formal attire. She had spent months preparing for this moment, learning what little humanity knew about galactic politics and customs. The weight of representing an entire species rested heavily on her shoulders. "Remember," Elena said quietly, "we're here to prove that humanity deserves a place among the galactic community. Our ships may be smaller, but we've achieved faster-than-light travel independently. That has to count for something." Maya nodded, though privately she wondered if it would be enough. The briefing materials had shown them glimpses of Federation technology that seemed almost magical compared to Earth's achievements. Ships the size of cities, weapons that could crack planets, and energy sources that humanity could barely comprehend. The Grand Assembly. The Federation Council chamber was a marvel of alien architecture. The circular room stretched for kilometers in every direction, with the ceiling disappearing into a hazy distance above. Hundreds of different species occupied the tiered seating arrangements, each area designed to accommodate vastly different physiologies and environmental needs. Maya counted at least 50 distinct alien races as their human delegation walked toward the central presentation platform. Some floated in specialized atmospheric bubbles, others towered on multiple legs, and a few existed as pure energy contained within geometric force fields. The diversity was overwhelming and beautiful, representing thousands of years of galactic civilization. The Alphorian representative, resembling a crystalline tree with branches that sparkled like diamonds, spoke first. Its voice resonated through universal translators with the sound of wind chimes. "We welcome the representatives of the species called humans. You have requested membership in our federation. Present your credentials." Ambassador Rodriguez stepped forward with practiced grace. "Honored Council, humanity comes before you as a young but determined species. We have achieved interstellar travel through our own ingenuity and wish to contribute to the greater galactic community." A ripple of sounds passed through the assembly. Maya couldn't tell if it was interest, amusement, or something else entirely. The Zephyrian delegate, a being of flowing mercury-like substance, undulated forward. "Show us your vessels, humans. Let us see what your species considers worthy of the stars." The presentation. Maya activated the holographic projector they had brought from Earth. Above the assembly, a detailed three-dimensional image of the UES Horizon appeared, slowly rotating to show every angle. The ship's elegant lines and human aesthetic were clearly visible, along with technical specifications that represented humanity's greatest achievements. The reaction was immediate and unmistakable. Across the chamber, aliens began making sounds that the translators struggled to interpret. Then the translations came through clearly. Laughter. Each species had its own way of expressing amusement, but the meaning was universal and devastating. A Corvani representative, standing 3 meters tall with 4 arms and skin like polished metal, gestured dismissively at the hologram. "This is your flagship, your greatest achievement." The being's voice boomed with condescension. "Our cargo shuttles are larger than this toy." The Vorthek delegate, A creature resembling a massive jellyfish floating in a containment field, pulsed with colors Maya's translator identified as mocking. 800 meters. Our construction drones build larger structures as practice exercises. How did such a primitive species achieve faster-than-light travel? Maya felt her face burning with embarrassment and anger. Every human in the delegation stood frozen as waves of alien laughter washed over them. The months of preparation, the pride they had felt in humanity's achievements, all of it crumbled in the face of this cosmic humiliation. Ambassador Rodriguez maintained her diplomatic composure, though Maya could see the tension in her jaw. Our ships may be compact by your standards, but humanity has always valued efficiency and innovation over raw size. This statement only provoked more laughter. The Nexeri representative, a being of pure energy crackling within a containment suit, spoke with a voice like static electricity. Efficiency. Your vessels lack proper shielding, advanced weapon systems, or even basic gravitational manipulation. They would be destroyed by the first asteroid field they encountered. The crisis emerges. As if summoned by the Nexeri's words, alarms suddenly began blaring throughout the council chamber. The massive display screens around the room activated, showing urgent communications from across Federation space. Maya watched as reports flooded in from multiple sectors simultaneously. Council Chairman Felix, an ancient being whose species had founded the Federation millennia ago, raised a appendage for silence. His voice carried the weight of eons when he spoke. We are receiving distress calls from the Outer Rim territories. A massive asteroid storm has been detected moving toward the Kepler mining colonies. 17 separate facilities are in immediate danger. The chamber fell silent as the scope of the crisis became clear. The asteroid storm was unlike anything in recorded galactic history, composed of thousands of fragments moving at incredible speeds through a region filled with delicate mining equipment and civilian populations. Our heavy cruisers are responding, announced the Alphorian representative, but uncertainty colored its crystalline voice. However, the asteroid field is too dense for safe navigation of large vessels. The mining stations are built in narrow canyon networks that our ships cannot access. Maya exchanged glances with Lieutenant Commander Park. Both of them had served in Earth's asteroid mining operations in the Sol system. They understood the challenge immediately. Large ships would be useless in such an environment, potentially causing more damage than the asteroids themselves. Ambassador Rodriguez stepped forward. Perhaps humanity could assist with this crisis. The suggestion brought another wave of alien laughter, though this time it was bitter rather than mocking. The Corvani delegate shook his massive head. Your toy ships would be vaporized instantly. This requires precision and power beyond your capabilities. Human innovation revealed. Maya made a decision that would change everything. She activated her personal communicator and spoke directly to the Horizon's chief engineer. Commander Sarah Kim, initiate Project Hummingbird protocols. Full deployment, all systems. The holographic display above the assembly changed dramatically. Instead of showing just the horizon, it now displayed technical schematics that made several alien representatives lean forward with sudden interest. The diagrams revealed systems and technologies that hadn't been included in their initial presentation. What you're seeing, Maya announced to the stunned assembly, is humanity's adaptive navigation system. Our ships aren't just small by accident. They're designed to operate in environments where larger vessels cannot function. The schematics showed incredibly sophisticated miniaturization technology, quantum-scale maneuvering thrusters, and most impressively, a revolutionary microgravitational manipulation system that allowed human ships to perform impossible maneuvers in tight spaces. Commander Kim's voice came through the communicator with barely contained excitement. Captain, I'm reading the asteroid field data from the Federation networks. Our ships can handle this. The canyons are actually wider than some of the mining tunnels we've navigated in the Jupiter system. The Nexeri representative's energy field flickered with what Maya recognized as surprise. This technology, it should not be possible at such a compact scale. How long have humans possessed these capabilities? Ambassador Rodriguez smiled for the first time since entering the chamber. We've been developing these systems for over a century. Earth's asteroid mining industry required ships that could operate in the most challenging environments imaginable. We learned to do more with less because we had no choice. The volunteers. The Federation Council faced an unprecedented situation. Their massive, powerful vessels were perfectly designed for open space combat and large-scale operations, but completely unsuited for the delicate rescue mission that the crisis demanded. For the first time in galactic history, the advanced alien civilizations needed help from a species they had just dismissed as primitive. Chairman Thylix spoke slowly, each word carefully considered. The human vessels. They would volunteer for this mission. Maya didn't hesitate. 12 of our ships are currently docked at this station. We can launch within the hour. She paused, then added with quiet pride. Saving lives is what humans do, regardless of who's laughing at us. The chamber fell completely silent. Across hundreds of different species, the same realization was dawning. These small human ships, dismissed as toys and relics, might be the only hope for 17 mining colonies and thousands of civilian lives. The Vorthek delegate's color patterns shifted to what Maya's translator identified as deep respect. We may have misjudged your capabilities. As Maya prepared to leave the chamber and coordinate the rescue mission, she heard Ambassador Rodriguez address the council one final time. Chairman Thylix, honored representatives, humanity asks for nothing in return for this assistance. We simply hope that when this crisis is over, you might reconsider your assessment of what makes a ship or a species truly advanced. The rescue mission would prove to be more challenging and more revelatory than anyone imagined, but Maya felt something she hadn't experienced since entering the council chamber. Hope. Sometimes the smallest ships carried the biggest surprises. Launch preparations. The docking bay of the Federation station buzzed with unprecedented activity as human crews prepared their vessels for the most important mission in Earth's short galactic history. Maya watched through the observation windows as her 12 ships underwent final system checks. Each vessel represented years of human engineering innovation, designed not for glory or intimidation, but for the practical challenges of operating in Earth's dangerous asteroid fields. Commander Sarah Kim moved between the ships with the focused intensity of someone who understood that thousands of lives depended on their technology working flawlessly. Her engineering teams had spent the past 3 hours calibrating the adaptive navigation systems for the specific conditions they would face in the Outer Rim territories. Captain, Kim reported, all ships are reporting green across the board. The microgravitational manipulators are operating at optimal efficiency, and our quantum thrusters are calibrated for the asteroid field's density patterns. Maya nodded, though part of her still couldn't believe they were actually doing this. 6 hours ago, the Federation Council had been laughing at humanity's toy ships. Now those same vessels were the only hope for a rescue mission that the galaxy's most advanced civilizations couldn't handle. Lieutenant Commander Park approached with the final mission briefings. We've received detailed scans of the mining colonies from Federation reconnaissance drones. The asteroid storm is moving faster than initially calculated. We have maybe 4 hours before the leading edge hits the first colony. The tactical display showed the full scope of the challenge ahead. 17 mining facilities scattered across a region of space filled with narrow canyons, delicate extraction equipment, and civilian populations that had nowhere to run. The asteroids weren't just large rocks. They were fragments of a destroyed planet moving at incredible speeds with unpredictable trajectories. Departure and first contact. As the human fleet prepared to depart, Maya received an unexpected communication from the Federation flagship. Admiral Zephan, the Althorian commander of the sector fleet, appeared on her screen with what she had learned to recognize as nervous agitation in his crystalline features. Captain Chen, our heavy cruisers will escort your vessels to the edge of the asteroid field. Beyond that point, we cannot safely accompany you. The canyon networks are too narrow for our ships to navigate without risking catastrophic collisions. Maya understood the unspoken message. The Federation's most powerful vessels would be watching from a safe distance, while humanity's small ships ventured into conditions that could destroy them in an instant. The pressure was enormous, but she also felt a strange sense of pride. For the first time since leaving Earth, humans were leading a galactic mission. "Admiral, we appreciate the escort. Our ships are designed exactly for these conditions. We won't let you down." The journey to the outer rim took 2 hours at maximum warp speed. During the flight, Maya's communications officer picked up increasingly desperate transmissions from the mining colonies. The asteroid storm was accelerating, and several facilities were already reporting impacts from the leading fragments. "This is Colony 7, came one transmission filled with static and panic. "We're taking hits on our outer platforms. Evacuation shuttles can't launch safely with all this debris. Please, someone help us." Maya opened a channel to her entire fleet. "All ships, this is Horizon Actual. You've heard the transmissions. 17 colonies, thousands of civilians, and we're their only hope. Remember your training, trust your ships, and let's show the galaxy what human determination looks like." Into the storm. The asteroid field appeared on their screens like a wall of destruction stretching across space. Federation sensors detected over 50,000 separate fragments, ranging from pebbles to chunks the size of skyscrapers, all moving in chaotic patterns that would challenge even the most advanced navigation systems. Admiral Zephin's voice came through with obvious reluctance. "Captain Chen, our tactical analysis indicates a 90% probability of total mission failure. The asteroid density exceeds safe navigation parameters for any known vessel design." Maya smiled grimly as she watched her tactical display. The Federation's computers were calculating based on their own massive ships, but human vessels operated by completely different principles. "Admiral, with respect, your computers haven't seen what our ships can do." She activated the fleet-wide communication system. "All vessels, initiate Hummingbird protocols. Full adaptive navigation, quantum thruster control, and microgravitational manipulation. Stay tight, stay focused, and follow my lead." The transformation was immediate and spectacular. The human ships seemed to shrink even smaller as their hulls reconfigured for maximum maneuverability. Quantum thrusters fired in precisely calculated bursts, while the microgravitational manipulators created localized space distortions that allowed the vessels to slide through impossibly narrow gaps. Maya's ship, the Horizon, led the formation into the asteroid field with movements that defied conventional physics. The vessel twisted and turned through spaces barely wider than its hull, using gravitational eddies to slingshot around massive fragments while maintaining perfect formation integrity. The rescue operations. The first mining colony came into view after 30 minutes of navigation through the densest asteroid field any human had ever encountered. Colony 12 was built into the walls of a narrow canyon, its delicate extraction equipment and habitat modules clinging to the rock face like technological barnacles. Colony 12, this is Captain Chen of the UES Horizon. We're here to get you out. The response came immediately, filled with disbelief and desperate hope. Captain, thank God. We've got 800 civilians who need evacuation, but our shuttles can't launch. The asteroid impacts are getting worse every minute. Maya studied the tactical situation. The colony's evacuation shuttles were too large and clumsy to navigate the increasingly chaotic debris field, but her ships could position themselves as mobile evacuation platforms. All vessels, implement rescue pattern Delta. Use your gravitational manipulators to clear approach corridors. What followed was a display of precision flying that would have been impossible for any other ships in the known galaxy. The human vessels moved through the asteroid storm like dancers, their quantum thrusters firing in perfect harmony to create safe zones around each colony's docking ports. Commander Kim's voice came through the communication system with excitement barely contained by professional discipline. Captain, the microgravitational fields are working better than we ever imagined. We're actually using the asteroid's own gravity to enhance our maneuverability. Witnessing the impossible, back at the edge of the asteroid field, The Federation fleet watched in stunned silence as their sensors tracked the human rescue operation. Admiral Zeffin stood on his bridge, surrounded by officers from dozen different species, all staring at displays that showed ships performing maneuvers that their science said were impossible. "Admiral," reported his Corvani tactical officer, "the human vessels are moving through debris fields that would destroy our heaviest cruisers. Their navigation precision is beyond our understanding of physics." The tactical displays showed the human ships as small dots of light weaving through the chaos, each one carrying hundreds of evacuated civilians to safety. The rescue operation was proceeding faster than anyone had dared hope, with the small human vessels proving more effective than entire Federation battle groups. "Sir," called out the communications officer, "we're receiving transmissions from all 17 colonies. The humans have reached every single facility and are conducting simultaneous evacuations." Admiral Zeffin's crystalline structure flickered with colors that indicated profound amazement. "In 3 centuries of Federation operations, we have never seen navigation skills of this caliber. These humans, they are not what we believe them to be." The final challenge. As the rescue operations continued, the asteroid storm reached its peak intensity. The largest fragments, some the size of mountains, began impacting the canyon walls around the mining colonies. Maya realized that simply evacuating the civilians wouldn't be enough. The mining facilities represented decades of construction and billions of credits in infrastructure that would be lost forever. "All ships, this is Horizon Actual. New mission parameters. We're going to try something that's never been attempted before." Maya outlined her plan to use their micro-gravitational manipulators in concert, creating a coordinated gravitational field that could deflect the largest asteroids away from the mining facilities. The mathematics were incredibly complex, requiring perfect timing and positioning from all 12 ships. Commander Kim's voice carried uncertainty for the first time. "Captain, the power requirements are at the extreme edge of our capabilities. If we miscalculate, we could create gravitational anomalies that would destroy everything we're trying to save." "Sarah, how many lives will be lost if we don't try? How many years of work will be destroyed?" The answer came back immediately. "We'll do it, Captain. All ships are reporting ready for gravitational coordination." The miracle. What happened next would be remembered in galactic history as the Kepler miracle. 12 small human ships, working in perfect coordination, created a gravitational lens that deflected the largest asteroids away from the mining colonies. The precision required was beyond anything the Federation had believed possible, involving calculations that their best computers had declared mathematically impossible. The Federation fleet watched as the human vessels moved in patterns too complex for their sensors to fully track, each ship's gravitational field perfectly synchronized with the others. The massive asteroids, some weighing billions of tons, curved away from their destructive paths, as if guided by invisible hands. "Impossible," whispered Admiral Zeffin's science officer, a being whose species had mastered gravitational manipulation 10,000 years ago. "The computational requirements alone should exceed the capacity of their entire fleet. How are they doing this?" The answer came from Maya herself, transmitted on an open channel for the entire Federation fleet to hear. "Admiral, we're not using computers for the calculations. Our pilots are doing this by instinct, feeling the gravitational flows and responding in real time. Sometimes the human touch is more precise than any machine." New understanding. As the last civilians were evacuated and the asteroid storm finally passed, leaving the mining colonies intact and functional, a profound silence settled over the Federation fleet. The small human ships that had been mocked just hours earlier had accomplished what the galaxy's most advanced civilizations had declared impossible. Admiral Zeffin requested direct communication with Captain Chen. His crystalline face showed colors that Maya's translator identified as deep respect and humility. "Captain, the Federation Council owes humanity and profound apology. We judged your ships by their size rather than their capabilities." Maya's response was gracious but firm. "Admiral, "We didn't come here for apologies. We came here because people needed help. That's what humans do." The rescue mission had saved over 12,000 civilian lives and preserved infrastructure worth trillions of credits. More importantly, it had demonstrated that technological advancement wasn't always about building bigger ships or more powerful weapons. Sometimes it was about building better ships, more precise tools, and training people to use them with skill and dedication. The new partnership, the journey back to the Federation station, was very different from the outbound trip. Instead of escorting the human ships as potential hazards, the Federation fleet flew in formation with them as honored partners. Communications channels buzzed with requests from alien engineers wanting to understand human navigation technology. Ambassador Rodriguez found herself fielding dozens of requests for technological exchanges, research partnerships, and joint development projects. The galaxy that had dismissed humanity 12 hours earlier now wanted to learn from them. "Captain," Rodriguez said during the return flight, "I'm receiving formal invitations from 17 different Federation species. They want to establish research partnerships with Earth's engineering academies." Maya smiled as she watched the Federation station grow larger on their screens. "Tell them we're interested, but on one condition. They have to stop calling our ships toys." The laughter that came back over the communication channels was very different from what they had heard in the council chamber. This time, the aliens were laughing with humanity, not at them. The rescue mission had proved that in the vast galaxy, there was room for ships of all sizes, and that sometimes the smallest vessels could achieve the greatest things. As they docked at the station, Maya reflected on the day's events. Humanity had entered the galactic community as supplicants, hoping for acceptance. They were returning as partners, with their unique capabilities recognized and respected by civilizations that had existed for millennia before Earth had even developed spaceflight. The mockery had ended, and a new era of cooperation had begun. Retriclaude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.